Hello, viewers. Today is Monday, October 7, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the US presidential elections 2024. Today, I would like to share my opinion on where are we in terms of the direction of the race. As we know, we have completed the presidential debate, the first presidential debate, and then the vice presidential debate, and we are in the first week of October right now. We have only 4 more weeks. So I thought I will just look at the direction of the race at this point. So if you look at all the polls that has come out over the weekend, and also the polls that have come in the last 5-6 days, it looks like there is a slight change in the direction of the race in favor of Donald Trump. It's not a very significant change in the sense that he's not picked up like 5, 6, 7 points in the national polling, but still he has narrowed down the Kamala Harris's lead of on an average 5 points in the national poll to somewhere around 2.5. And also in the battleground states, he has caught up with Kamala Harris, and specifically in Arizona, he's probably ahead by 2-3 points. So that said, let's look at why this change in direction took place. But before that, I would like to remind you guys that I did inform you after the first presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump that the race will get normalized, and there will be 2 or 3 directional changes before the November election. So we are seeing the first such directional change. So it's nothing unexpected, but still everybody thought that the race is going to narrow down, and it has narrowed down. So let's look at the reasons. The first reason, in my view, is the vice presidential debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. While that whole vice presidential debate was considered as a draw, I personally felt like Tim Walz did not do justice, and he did not at least do as well as people expected. So he lost on the expectations game, and J.D. Vance actually did very well. He beat the expectations game. People thought that he was going to look like a crazy person. He did not. He looked presidential. So he did beat the expectations game. So definitely that vice presidential debate has something to do with it. It's not all, but it has got something to do with it. And this is one of the reasons I always felt like the selection of Tim Walz as the vice presidential pick to me was not the ideal choice for Kamala Harris. I still feel that Josh Shapiro should have been the PP pick. He would have done a much better job, not just on the debate. He could have handed over Pennsylvania to Kamala Harris so that she could have concentrated on other states. Nevertheless, she didn't pick him for just, from my view, one main reason was about Dearborn, Michigan. She felt like that the Arab Americans will not vote for the ticket if Josh Shapiro is the vice presidential pick. But nevertheless, the more you look at Tim Walz, the more he reminds me of Tim Kaine that Hillary Clinton picked during that 2016 election. At that time as well, I felt like that was not the best pick. Tim Kaine is a very distinguished governor, very nice person, very decent person, and he is also a very good senator from Virginia, but still, he was not a good vice presidential pick then, and I do feel that Tim Walz is not the best pick for Kamala Harris at this time. Nevertheless, the debate was considered as a draw, but still, that gave a little bit of momentum for the Trump campaign. They can at least show something to the people to say that J.D. Vance is capable and we are not crazies after all. So that is one factor. The second factor is the Hurricane Helene and its aftermath, the destruction and the Fed response to help the people in those states that are affected. While the Feds did respond very well, but they did not come out and speak about what they have done. Before that, there were a lot of people in the right-wing media who had come out and said that the Fed's response has not been good, and they were able to create a narrative that the feds did not do their job, they did not provide enough money, enough resources. So in the perception battle, the right already won by the time the FEMA director or the president or the vice president to come out and talk about what they have done. It was too little, too late. So I think that also contributed a little in terms of why there is a small directional change in favor of Donald Trump. Then the third reason I think is self-inflicted wound. I think Kamala Harris did not focus on campaigning for the last 7 to 10 days. I don't think she has visited several of the battleground states in the last 1 week or so. Granted, she needed to go to North Carolina and Georgia to look at the destruction caused by the Hurricane Helene, but still, I think she should have gone to Pennsylvania and other places more frequently. She has a lot of money. She can always travel across the country. I don't think that's an issue. I think she should have done that, and that's a missed opportunity. And so I think these three reasons are the main reason that Donald Trump has got some directional movement in his favor. And I do not know whether this will sustain for long, but nevertheless, he's doing pretty well in Arizona. He's doing reasonably well in Michigan. He has caught up with Harris on Wisconsin, and North Carolina and Georgia is always a tie, in my view. So I think this race is getting very interesting, and so I think there will be two more directional changes, I think, before November election. One of them could be an October surprise based on an international event. Another could be some kind of legal issue that could come up. I remember that in the year 2000, in October, we saw the George W. Bush's drunken driving record that came. And in 2004, we saw the international event. Osama bin Laden made some kind of a taped, a recorded statement just before the election. And so in 2008, we had a perennial surprises in terms of Obama's priest, and you had his birth certificate issue. But it did not make a big difference because at that time, the financial crisis was the most important issue for the people. So that did not make a big difference. Then in 2012, we had Mitt Romney's taxes, and then we also had his private equity firm, how they actually did not help the automotive industry in Michigan. So there were a lot of such events that really shaped up the campaign. So in 2016, we all know that we had Benghazi, we had emails, we had this Comey investigation, and then you had the computer. So you had so many issues in 2016 as well. So we are bound to get some more news that will have some consequence, and that will affect the direction of the race. And so I believe that there will be one or two more directional change before the November election. And that's where we are right now. Still, it's a very close race, but I do think that today, Donald Trump campaign should be reasonably happy in the sense that they are very, very close. And if they can keep it very close till the election day, then it's a jump ball, it's a flip of a coin kind of a race. And that's what they are expecting. That's it for me today. I'll come back to you with a different program tomorrow. Till then, take care.